Hey guys, it's Sean here, and I just figured I'd go through a little update and also talking about like my experience as someone who has tried to design cards in the past and make their own card game. And I thought that for people who might be interested, I would talk about going through the process of making it and sort of like reasons why I've been gone, talking about breaks and why hiatuses are necessary, and just like things about creativity in general. So basically, uh, I'm like a beginning graphic design student. Um, I've taken a few important core classes, but I wouldn't say I'm definitely not an expert by far. So I figured I'd go through a bunch of stuff and just kind of show you the behind the scenes of like actually making a card game on your computer and like actually physically designing it. Not necessarily making the handmade card games as much, but yeah. Thing is that it's like I'm a college student now, so like, uh, you know, spending time on hobbies is not. I don't necessarily have a lot of time to do that. If I don't upload for a certain amount of time, I think a lot of people can relate to this. Just because you don't upload for a certain amount of time doesn't mean that you hate doing it or that you've given up. It's just you might not have enough time in your life at that moment to really devote to a hobby, which for most people YouTube is. It's not a job. So, not uploading for that period of time is not always possible for some people. So these are some of the original cards that I designed for. Back then it was called X. So these are the original templates. The I don't even remember if I used the Game Crafter's pre-made thing. I think I might have, maybe, because I knew I wanted this. Another thing I wanted to talk about. I am by no means an expert. I have never even finished a single set of a card game. Um, like in terms of actually printing it out and having cards and being able to play it. My words don't have the same weight as someone like Chaos Galaxy or Wrath of Cores or someone like that, or Soaps. But I just wanted to sort of talk about my thought process when it comes to this, and I think the videos like there needs to be more videos like this because um, creativity and making cards is creative. It's a creative thing. There's art. There's all these different rules and stuff that go into it, and it's not like this one-to-one thing. You can't just follow a formula to do this. You'll notice if you or any of you are fans of Kibukejo, which I imagine some of you sure you'll recognize that these stats are all just like basically copied from Adventure Realms. I think originally when I made the beginning of the cards back in like 2015, when I was like, I don't even remember how old. It was pretty much just a copy, and then I tried to refine the game more and try to figure out actually like how to, make it different. And I kept these stats for a while. Let me clear this out. This is a very scuffed podcast, by the way. This is how I would draw all the creatures. Just drawing them all on one page, scanning them in, and then going into Photoshop. You can also use GIMP, or I'm sure there's other free alternatives that work just as good, but my preferred is Photoshop, and if you don't have access to that, then use GIMP. Yeah, just going in, drawing all of the creatures that I want, or cards that I want to be on the same page, and just Photoshopping them out. Another thing I do now that I didn't used to do is if you make a mistake, you have a computer, so fix it. That's not to say to like replace your entire drawing, but like you can see there's parts where the marker is bled out. Just that's so easy to delete without even really like changing how your drawing looks. Like it's still gonna look the same pretty much. It's just gonna look better because it doesn't look like it was drawn like by a 12-year-old, which like so this is the initial digital version of the card game. I had not taken any design classes, so ignore that. Don't hold that up to your standard. I think that template is really bad, by the way. I don't think I can do so much better, and I think I have gotten a lot better. So this is a much nicer template. There's still definitely some issues. Another big thing that, as an artist, pisses me off is I have not centered these ones properly. These numbers are just kind of flying out in the middle of nowhere. Another big thing I want to talk about is having all of your icons being the same. So like a great website is GameCrafter. If you can, or not GameCrafter, sorry, GameIcons.net. They provide free icons that you can color. The only thing is you just want to make sure that your icons are made the same way, have similar strokes, and backgrounds. Transparent backgrounds are always best. Things like that. You definitely don't want a bunch of different icons from different sources. One source of icons is really great. I would recommend Game Icons. If you really want to be unique, you can draw them yourself. That will be get your game to feel the most like your game. But if you are like me and you don't think that you're that good at drawing, I would recommend Game. So this is when I started using a similar background to the one I have now. By this point I had taken a few classes. I don't know how many I could say. 2 classes, maybe 1 or 2. Not bad. I think the icons are a lot cleaner. And I'm still using, this is sort of when I'm just trying to figure, I think with this, I'm trying to figure out what my card game is, you know? Like when you look at these, it all looks better, but at the same time it's like, why is this there? Like, what does this number mean? What do these mean? You know, what does that mean? The logo though, I do like the idea of this pack. I still think that this mosaic thing is not the greatest, and that's why I replaced it. So let's move on to 2019. So this was last year, and I believe for the most part these were okay. This is it's not the current back. I believe the current back is slightly different, but it's pretty much the same or similar vibe, and I do like it a lot. So in this folder, I actually have some an important thing is what we have is some brainstorming. So these are all just different card games, and I was like, how do I, like, what is an important thing to remember? So I went through and looked at different card games. There's some homemade card games. Eldritch Kingdom has an amazing template. His art is so good. The template is so professional looking. It's insane. I'm not sure if he's still making the card game, but you know, the work he has done is awesome. So Force of Will, just getting a bunch of magic, bunch of inspiration and different like ideas. There's some old Pokemon, World of Warcraft. There's just getting more inspiration is better, and you can take the best elements that you think would fit your game. Here is the I've really revamped. I decided to add a new element. Yeah, I decided to make a so-called God card, which is sort of, I was inspired by, I played a lot of Commander and Magic, and I kind of was like, how do I make, it feels like there's a gap, you know, like there's a need for a multiplayer card game, because one-on-one is a lot of fun, but one-on-one is a lot more competitive inherently, because you only have one person. Multiplayer card game, no matter what you're doing, there's less people focused on trying to destroy specifically you. So you can you can have a lot more fun just doing whatever you feel you want to. Those are the old templates. Let's look on some newer ones. Now, not all of these are the most current ones, but they're still the most recent iteration of the card game. Here we have the artwork scans. A lot of this is new spoilers stuff, so I'm not necessarily going to click on any one in particular, but you can see from the thumbnails some stuff. I'll click on some art crops. This is not my art, but it is one of my favorite arts. My friend drew this for me in MS Paint, and it is just so incredible looking. I love the look of it. These are the icons. These are still based on the Game Crafter. However, I have really pushed the Game Crafter or Game Icon, sorry, to its limits, and I've used more variety. I don't even know if I probably will keep these because I spent a long time trying to figure out what is the best. The next thing, let's look at some more tests. So this is the first card template. Big differences is the background is all of them are a lot nicer, and the bottom is actually on this separate thing with the set name, artist, and the card type. This is all just a nice convenient place for pack a bunch of information that most people probably don't really care about or is not super importantly relevant to them, but it is still important information to have somewhere. And then we also have the rarity here, and then this was back when I was kind of gonna do a mana system, and you can see that in the last video I did still have that. I'm probably gonna be removing that. Oh my god, another alarm. Okay, so yeah, these are they, and then here is the new card back. It is pretty much the same. I think there's just a few little things with the new logo, and this is basically how I have them laid out. So if you can click on this, you'll see all of the different backgrounds I have for each card type. Trying to make them as unique as possible, give everything as much design as possible. We have the icons pop a lot more, and yeah, overall another big thing I've used is strokes. There's a lot of strokes on everything that needs it, and things that don't need it don't have strokes. This is not something that is really easy to teach, but once you can learn how to master it, it is very useful. Also, any of you WoW players will understand this little Easter egg. So let's look at the current official ones that I'm working on. This is the current card back. It has a little alpha thing so that when I print it out, if somehow someone gets a hold of these cards, it will say playtest alpha on it, and it is very obvious that this is not a official card. So the main difference is centering of the text, and we've gotten rid of the potential for multiple mana types because it is I like the game as a level system. I do realize, looking at this now, I did get rid of the one, but I put it over the thing, over the element icon, and I think it works pretty well. So here's some cards. I can show you some exclusive art. This is also drawn by the same person who drew the Flame Ghoul for me. These are all sort of little things that I figured I don't see that many people talking about, you know, like the actual design process of the game is really important, you know, like actually making the cards is just as important as how the game plays. It is very important that all of the information looks good and is also makes sense, and anyone can just, you know, look at a card and kind of get the idea of what it does, how strong it is. The last thing I want to talk about is planning. So I actually have the entire first set of my card game done. I'm probably going to go back and tweak a few things, obviously, because it's still the alpha, and I want to get the design of the cards done first before I don't know what I clicked on, before I actually you know, put the game out for people. All the different rarities, you see all of the names, what every card does, everything. To get a playtest of cards, and I don't care about the art or how they look. I can literally just go in, plug all the things into my template, hit enter, move on to the next card, and be done with it in like less than a week, maybe a few days. I mean, I don't think I could do it in one day. I'd go insane, but plan out your card games, work on how the design and the template of them. And hey, there's nothing, I think there needs to be more card games in our community that are designed by multiple people, because it is really difficult to design an entire card game by yourself. I've struggled with it, and I do want to finish it and actually put it out, and maybe, you know, people enjoy it. I hope everyone's been having a good quarantine. That's the main thing I've been doing, is I've been playing a ton of Magic during quarantine when I get the chance. And so, card games are kind of the thing that, like, they keep us together, because it's the reason why we would go to the local game store. You know, you go to the store, you buy a pack, you talk to your friends, and that's just, it's how people, you know, get hooked on this stuff. So yeah, anyways, that was all I had to say for this video. I thank you guys a lot for being such awesome community members. We're at 5 subscribers, and I only uploaded 1 video. That's pretty cool. If you want to, you can follow my main channel, Sean Burke. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I think if I make another video, it's going to be much more edited than this one, because this one is a lot of ums and pauses and me talking straight from a brain hole, and it is very early in the morning, as you guys can tell. Thank you all for watching. More videos to come soon on the card game. I really want to get it to a state where I can get feedback. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.